What's a special ops soldier doing on horseback at Ground Zero? He's a statue. This 18-foot high statue memorializes those lost on 9/11. Those that Dr. Schwartz of the CDC reports as 2,726 lives. This statue does more than memorialize our losses. It also celebrates those that protect us from more terrorist attacks. This horse soldier represents our reaction to the terrorists. We cannot determine our history makers. We can determine our history markers. We're going to be looking at a statue, this one, that is without limitation because it has so much unity. We're also going to be looking at two other statues that have limited appeal because they are divisive. You have the Confederate soldier that was equally courageous but still divisive, and even Christopher Columbus. De Oppresso Liber. This is the title of that statue, and it means from oppressed, free. We were all oppressed as a nation on September the 11th, 2001. We sat helplessly as we saw passenger planes crash into the Twin Towers. We began to be freed from that oppression 30 days later. That's when the special ops soldiers were embedded with the Afghan warriors on horseback. They called in the coordinates to bombers high above, and those bombs and the warlords drove the Taliban out of Afghanistan and demolished the training camps of terror. There's another bronze statue of a soldier holding a rifle in a park-like setting in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. This is Silent Sam. When I was a student there was a legend that Silent Sam would shoot off his rifle whenever a virgin passed by. He never shot off. But it's no laughing matter when we have protesters that take offense and believe that this is a symbol of racism. They toppled that statue on August the 20th of this year. UNC Chancellor Carol Folt says that while Silent Sam does not belong at the front door, he does have a place in our history and a place on our campus. Because it's also not a laughing matter that 1,000 of the student body at Chapel Hill went off to war on the Confederate side. That's 40% of the student body, the largest amount of any institution, north or south. Confederate statues have been torn down and have been removed at a fast rate. Since 2015, the Southern Poverty Law Center reports on June the 5th of this year that 110 have been removed. But you cannot just remove a statue and expect it to remove the racism that was embodied in that statue. So says Henry Louis Gates, Jr., a leading black historian. In the Time magazine of November the 13th, 2017, Gates said that you cannot just remove the hate like the expectation of those that were pepper sprayed. They were Civil War reenactors. And someone went and pepper sprayed the reenactors. We can't just remove the hate on either side. What Gates suggests is an additive approach. If there's a statue of Robert E. Lee, add a statue surrounding of Harriet Tubman or Sojourner Truth. Build bridges, Gates says, not barriers. There was, on a Columbus statue, no building of a bridge, but a sledgehammer was taken to the statue. And the protesters posted on YouTube the act of that destruction and their message, saying that Columbus symbolized the initial invasion of European capitalism and terrorism. We get a very different picture of Columbus when it comes to our U.S. Capitol Rotunda. We also got a different picture when most of us were in elementary school. We know that Christopher Columbus was seeking a sea route to India and the Orient, and that the overland route was dominated by the Muslims. So he went over the ocean. But do you know that Columbus left 39 of his men at Haiti? It was at a fort they fashioned from the timbers of the Santa Maria. And when he returned on a voyage the next year, those 39 men had been slaughtered by the Caro tribe, a fierce tribe in the Caribbean. And Columbus came back the next year, and he imprisoned and made prisoners of war some of those natives. And he also himself was shackled after his third voyage and taken back to Spain because of his mistreatment of the Spanish colonists. It may be that when Columbus Day rolls around very soon, we'll choose not to celebrate the man, but maybe still the voyages that brought many of us eventually here. We cannot choose the history makers, but the history markers. And it could well be that this horse soldier will always be esteemed. And when it comes to statues like of Confederates and even Christopher Columbus, maybe we need the additive approach to put some plaques and other statues around them. De oppresso liber, from oppressed, free. Madam Toastmaster.